Hi Forester fans, I'm Paityn Tabor. I'm a junior here at the college, and I do the Coaches Show with Coach Cat, where we sit down each week and talk about last week's game and the upcoming one. So this week we talked about last week's game against Beloit and the upcoming game against UChicago. Here it is. Hi Coach. First off, congrats on the win and on being 9-0 and 8-0 in the conference. And with that last win, that's going to set you guys up for the conference championship game this weekend.
Yeah, I mean, it was a great win last week, and it really set the stage this week for the game with UChicago to be extremely meaningful to our guys and to our coaching staff, to our whole program, to be honest with you. Hearing from our alums lately the last couple of weeks and the excitement that's been building with it, it's a great place to be. It's someplace we've not been before during my time here, so I'm excited.
Yeah. So before we get into the big game this weekend, let's quickly recap the game against Beloit. So your offense was very balanced with 367 yards of total offense, and your defense had another 4 turnovers, and then in the return game, you guys had 230 total return yards. So who stood out to you this past Saturday, and did you feel like this was a good game to set you guys up for this weekend?
Yeah, I mean, we kind of had everything clicking after the first drive on all phases of our football program. I think the first offensive and defensive drives were a little bit flat. But after that, it just kind of took off. I thought that it was really balanced. I mean, we had 14 different people carry the football. We had 13 different people catch the ball. Obviously, AJ was the returner. But, I thought it was a good game by our guys. But it was one that we kind of expected to, be on top of early and be able to get guys to play just with, their youth on the opposing team and kind of our seniority, I guess. I thought we knew we were the more talented team going into it. And we made a couple little errors in the first drives, and then from there it was just kind of solid performance by our guys. I mean, I don't think there's any one guy that stood out. We played so many different people. I mean, our backup 4 quarterbacks, our second, third, fourth, and fifth quarterbacks went like 9 of 11 passing, and it was, they were just smart, great execution. It was good to see those guys get the opportunity to throw a couple passes in the game, and as we get ready for this last regular season game, they got that chance.
Yeah. So now I kind of want to turn our attention to the big game this weekend. This is probably the most explosive team that you guys have played all year. They average 52 points per game and only giving up 14 points a game. So what makes UChicago so explosive on offense?
Part of it is how good they are in the run game. Nick D'Ambrose, who's the nation's leading rusher, is their tailback. He is a phenomenal football player. And even when he doesn't have the ball in his hands, he takes so much attention that he opens up the deep play action passes from their quarterback to their receivers. And when you watch them play, they are much more like an NFL team than they are a traditional college football team. They're not this spread, throw it all over the place horizontally. They want to throw it vertically down the field. And they know that, we might only hit 1 of 4, but the one we hit is going to be a 40 to 50-yard momentum swing and play. And they're really exceptional about that. Now, that's not to say they can't do the other types of passes, but where they make their biggest impact in the passing game is the deep ball. Against Monmouth, they had 3 passes over 40 yards for touchdowns. Against us in 2019, they did the same kind of thing a couple of times. And so I think that they are a super talented team. They have great players that we've had to see the last couple of years, and I think that Nick is the kind of the straw that stirs the drink a little bit. As he goes, their team kind of goes, and he's been so consistently good all season that it's really fun to watch on film.
So what do you guys need to do to shut Nick D'Ambrose down?
I don't think you shut Nick D'Ambrose down. I think you have to just limit his impact. And the question is, can you his average right now like 7.9 yards per carry. Can we hold him down to 4? If we hold him down to 4 and we do a great job on first downs, does that give us a better chance to win? I think absolutely. And then the other part is, in the 2 previous meetings we've had with them, we can't give up the big play and momentum situations. They score a touchdown against us in 2019, and then they kick kind of a pooch kick, and we fumble it, and then they score on the next play. That 3-play swing was really a momentum just deflating, and then we had to start to kind of claw back out of that. And so, our team did fight through the rest of that game, and we just need to make sure that we don't do that same kind of mistake this week. And we haven't done that all year, so we've been very good about staying sound and staying within ourselves and not trying to do too much. There's my coach speak for the week: stay within ourselves and not do too much, right? But I think that, to be honest with you, we're talented enough to do that on defense, and we just need to play and execute at a high level.
Yeah. So we've talked about their running back, but now let's shift a little bit. I want to talk about their quarterback. Because he has 25 touchdowns on the year and averages 214 yards per game. So how do you guys plan to kind of approach him?
Well, the nice part is we got the nation's leading interceptor at corner, and we've got a couple of other really talented defensive backs. And I think that one of the things you've seen throughout our team this whole year defensively is we've been very consistent. I mean, we're the number one defense in the conference for a reason. And our guys up front on the defensive line make it a lot less comfortable for quarterbacks to sit back there and try to find the receivers. If we can continue to move people off, move their quarterback off the spot, the drop, we can probably impact his throwing more that way than we even will with our coverage. But I have nothing but confidence in our defensive players to make big plays this week.
So, Coach, with a team as dangerous as this one on offense, do you kind of see any similarities between them and anyone else that you guys have played this season?
Not really, to be honest with you. I mean, I guess probably the closest would be Monmouth in the run game. We had a pretty good day that day, so we didn't get to see their run game at full effect. But I think their use of an H-back here is probably most closely aligned with what Ripon does schematically. I think that they just maybe have a little bit better players in certain spots that make it a little bit better.
So, Coach, you guys have been playing so well on offense all year, and this is a team that only gives up 14 points a game. So who are the main players that we have to make sure don't disrupt the flow of our offense?
Yeah, I mean, they've got a really strong secondary. Their corner number 6 and their safety number 24 are really talented players that are ball hawks. They do a great job trying to stop you, but they kind of like us are really a no-name defense. Like, everybody on their team makes plays. And I think that that's one of the things that's kind of unique about Lake Forest and UChicago this year is if you look at the statistical categories of like sacks or tackles for a loss or even tackles, neither of us have people up there. When you look at the the interceptions, we do have Dante up there, but it's one of those things where like the whole team collective is stronger than the individual parts, and I think that's what's really special about both teams. I think they do it, we do it. I think that our practices give us a great opportunity to go against a defense that's on par with theirs, and we just have to execute as we kind of go through.
Yeah, so speaking of executing, what are the keys to victory for us going into this game?
We got to be able to run the football. I think I've said that 11 weeks in a row. We got to be able to run the football. And when the time comes to take the passing game and stretch the field vertically, we have to take it. I think that's one of the things probably over the last couple of weeks we haven't done a lot of, and more because of our game plans for those games. But I think that there's times where we need to allow an AJ to take the deep ball and go or something like that, where we've been kind of hitting with screen games the past couple of weeks. But I do think that the run game is crucial, getting Damon going early, getting our offensive line pushing people and getting into that mentality. I think that as long as we do that like we have been, we'll be in good shape.
So, Coach, besides homecoming when the crowd was electric, what do you kind of want from the fans this weekend in this game?
Same thing as then. I just want them to support our guys. Like, I think that one of the things we've seen over the last maybe 3 to 4 weeks is whether at home or on the road or other places, people worried about the other team. I don't care about the other team. I don't want to cheer for them. I don't want to cheer against them. I want everybody cheering for us. So I want them to get out there early for the Forester Walk. I know that we've got some fall sport teams that have gotten done with their seasons that are going to be home this weekend and be their first chance to actually go to a game. And hopefully they get out and get to enjoy that fan part of being a college student as well. And I just want to be loud and proud of our guys. And the interesting thing is, regardless of the result on Saturday, they should be proud of the football program they've put out there.
Well, that's actually all I had for you today, Coach. So best of luck against UChicago, and I look forward to talking with you next week after another Forester victory.
Awesome. Thanks so much.
Go Foresters!